Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Here we are to review week number 11. As you can see, we already start off with one of the biggest surprises of the year. Arizona actually winning a game. I'll start off with Johnson getting a 1-yard touchdown run and Neil Reckers kicking a 36-yard field goal. Then Shane Graham kicks a 37-yard field goal of his own. And then this is where Arizona turned on the Jets. Although granted, either Arizona turned on the Jets or the Bengals went in the future by 18 years, well, like 17 years, and became their 2025 defense. Edgerrin James, 3-yard touchdown run, and then a 2-yard touchdown run, and then a 1-yard touchdown run in the third quarter, and they have now pulled away 24-10. Then Matt Leinart gets a 1-yard touchdown pass to Preston, and Neil Reckers just finally puts the game out of reach with a 44-yard field goal. And this Cardinal defense, a team this banged up, got almost 360 yards of offense while holding Cincinnati to 172. 5 red zone attempts, 4 touchdowns, and a field goal. They didn't force any turnovers. Well, they forced a fumble. And they had time of possession. Yeah, that causes them not to have the potential of getting the number 1 overall pick anymore, but, what can you say? Panthers and Packers, and another shocker, Packers get shut out, in which the Packer management have now officially benched Aaron Rodgers to have Brett Favre back under starting center. Because if they're not scoring with Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre's probably going to be retiring in this game after this season anyways, so. But started off with Casey getting 3 field goals, 1 from 59 yards, 1 from 21 yards, and 1 from 31 yards. Then David Carr got a touchdown pass to Dwayne Jarrett. And then Casey kicks another field goal. And yeah, the Carolina defense just stepped up big time. Plus 159 total rushing yards helps out a lot too. Picking off Aaron Rodgers, a young Aaron Rodgers, I should say. The other team are really disciplined, a total of 22 penalties. But, you don't have to make it a pretty game, just make it a win, D'Angelo Williams did have 2 fumbles in a game he was probable for from injury. Under 29 yards, though. Ravens, they did what they needed to do and beat the Browns to stay in contention for the AFC North. Although it started off a little back and forth. Matt Stover kicked a 27-yarder. Then Phil Dawson kicked a 23-yarder. Then Matt Stover with another 31-yarder. And then this is where Baltimore started to pull away. Though Matt Stover kicked another 40-yard field goal. Kyle Bowler with a 2-yard touchdown run. I'm guessing Steve McNair got injured in this game a little bit. Then you got Willis McGahee with an 8-yard touchdown run. And then Phil Dawson kicked a 47-yard field goal. Matt Stover kicked a 24-yard field goal. Brady Quinn finds Wilson for 15 yards. And Kyle Bowler throws Todd Heap for a 20-yard touchdown pass. Probably one of the greatest the greatest Ravens in history. And Todd Heap, Todd Heap, Heath Miller. That's what helped make that Baltimore and Pittsburgh rivalry so great, is the fact that both teams had great tight ends. And, 4 picks thrown by Brady Quinn, not what you need to do if you're trying to win. Yeah, Steve McNair was 2 for 2. Barely got hit sometime. Did he have any rushing attempts? Let's see. No? So it must have just been probably like some weird play or something, but we'll look at the injury report next week as always. Chiefs and the Colts. Chiefs beat the Colts, which at the time I had done the preview for this episode. the Chiefs were about to face the Colts in real life, and Chiefs barely won that one. Here they did a lot more. All right. Hanonian got a 1-yard touchdown run. I mean, Chiefs just started off dominating. Then Medlock with a 55-yard field goal. Larry Johnson with a 2-yard run. And then Sammy Parker gets a 13-yard pass from Damon. And then that's when Indianapolis finally decides to score. 5-yard touchdown pass from Peyton Manning, Dallas Clark. And then they reconnect again from 3 yards out. But Damon finds Tony Gonzalez for 30 yards out. Medlock kicks a 30-yard field goal. But you see, Indianapolis had plenty of chances offensively. It's just, well, one drive they threw a pick. One drive they turned over on downs. And they lost a fumble, so turnovers plus 9 penalties for 66 yards. That's what really killed them. Eagles remain undefeeted. Although Jay Feely kicked a 31-yard field goal to put Miami up, kind of started to make Eagles fans worry. But then Donovan McNabb with a 2-yard touchdown run. David Akers with a 24-yard field goal, and at this point, Philadelphia's relaxed. Brian Westbrook gets a 2-yard touchdown run. Lorenzo Booker has stepped up immensely for Ronnie Brown being injured with a 1-yard touchdown run. But then Brian Dawkins gets the pick six that seals the game for Philadelphia. And Miami, they did good offensively. It's just Philadelphia was a lot better. Although not on first downs, but able to only get 9 third down attempts. And also held Miami to 2 successful red zone trips. Plus picking off 3 passes as well. Yeah, Dante Culpepper, John Beck, doesn't matter who was under center. They were not having a fun time back there. Patriots and Bills. Bills could not do what Arizona did. So right now, the Buffalo Bills hold the number 1 overall pick heading into the 2008 NFL Draft. And Tom Brady just proved why he owned the Buffalo Bills. Benjamin Watson, 2-yard touchdown pass. And then Steven Gostkowski with a 21-yard field goal. And then Wes Welker gets a 77-yard punt return for a touchdown. All before Buffalo could score. And when they scored, they tried to make it competitive. Ryan Lindell with a 47-yard field goal. Dante Whitner with a 55-yard pick six. And then Lindell with another field goal from 38 yards out before the half ends. And it's 17-13 in favor of New England. Then Lawrence Maroney scores a 1-yard touchdown run. Heath Evans gets a 1-yard touchdown run. Lindell kicks a 24-yard field goal. Then Gostkowski gets a 35-yard field goal. And Wes Welker gets his second touchdown of the day, this time a 57-yard touchdown pass from the GOAT, Tom Brady. I mean, you look at all those stats, only 298 offensive yards, 3 of 14 for third down, but they went 4 for 4 on fourth down. Jesus Christ, New England, you're trying to stay competitive here. They got 3 sacks. Well, they got 6 sacks, forced 3 picks, had 108 punt return yards. Yeah, just systematic destruction by New England on Buffalo. A battle in the South. We have New Orleans against Houston, in which this was probably a lot closer than what some people would have liked. You have Henderson getting a 71-yard touchdown pass from Drew Brees. And then Ahmad Green gets a 2-yard touchdown pass from Metcalf. Then Murray kicks a 22-yard field goal. Then Chris Brown kicks a 51-yard field goal. And then Green gets a 17-yard touchdown pass from Matt Schaub. So Houston's up 20-10 heading into the last quarter. Murray kicks a 36-yard field goal with 7 minutes left to make it 13-17. Then Brown kicks the field goal, make it a full touchdown game. And that ended up being it. Problem from New Orleans, they just couldn't capitalize apparently because, they went 1 for 2 on 4th down. Only got the field goal in the red zone. Yeah, they just didn't do anything well in this game. 5-5, fine for a playoff spot. Not something you really want to see. Meanwhile, Minnesota fighting for the NFC North, that's something you definitely want to see, is you doubling up your opponent. Although it didn't start off all that well in the Metrodome, with Zach Crockett getting the 3-yard touchdown run. But then, Ron Longwell kicks a 29-yard field goal, makes it Chester Taylor gets a 1-yard touchdown run. Then Tim Rattay finds Troy Williamson for a 12-yard touchdown pass. Then Janikowski kicks a 35-yard field goal. But Ryan Longwell makes this long field goal 46 yards. And then Tim Rattay finds Troy Williamson again, this time 1 yard out. Jamarcus Russell does find Lamont Jordan from 5 yards out, but Chester Taylor just basically scores the garbage time touchdown. And they only forced 1 interception on Jamarcus, but Jamarcus isn't doing as well as Oakland thought they would. Meanwhile, Steelers and Jets are hanging in there with New England. Thomas Jones, 2-yard touchdown run, then a 6-yard touchdown run. And then Jeff Reed, all this scoring started in the second quarter. Then Thomas Jones was another touchdown run. Then Ben Roethlisberger finds Nate Washington for 52 yards. Then Mike Nugent kicks a field goal. And then Jonathan Vilma gets a 10-yard scoop and score. And then Big Ben finds Heath Miller from 10 yards out. And, just a lot of mistakes by the Steelers. Couldn't really capitalize. Jets have been doing pretty good this year. Jaguars, I don't know if the Jaguars are wanting to be good right now at this time, but you pick maybe not the best times to win if you're trying to better your team. Because although it did start off originally as a back and forth game, Maurice Jones-Drew got a 1-yard touchdown run, then LT got the touchdown back, and David Garrard finds Williams from 15 yards out, and Philip Rivers finds Davis from 1 yard out. But then Fred Taylor gets a 9-yard touchdown pass from David Garrard, Josh Scobie with a 21-yard field goal, and that ended up being the dagger that apparently San Diego's high-powered offense just couldn't come back from. Total 3 interceptions in the game for both teams. 4 turnovers by the Chargers. That's gonna hurt any team, The Panthers and the Falcons. Falcons bounce back and get a win. But it didn't look like they were going to win at first, because you had Matt Bryant nailing a 31-yard field goal and then a 41-yard field goal. Hold on 1 second. And then he nailed a 43-yard field goal. But Billy Cundiff responds with a 31-yard field goal. And Michael Vick finds Norwood from 6 yards out to take a 10-9 halftime lead. Then McGilly gets a 2-yard touchdown run. Billy Cundiff kicks another field goal, so now it's 20-9 in favor of Atlanta. Michael Vick finds Algie Crumpler from 7 yards out. Billy Cundiff kicks another field goal. And then Chris Sims finds Stevens from 6 yards out to at least make it a little bit more competitive. But Billy Cundiff kicks one last field goal with 19 seconds left. And, maybe Jeff Garcia needs to be back under center. I don't know if Jeff Garcia can save the sinking ship here, but, who knows? Washington and Dallas. Washington basically just... This game was a lot closer than what looks on paper, but here we go. Clinton Portis with the 1-yard touchdown run. Then Tony Romo finds Terrell Owens from 23 yards out. Then Jason Campbell finds Brandon Lloyd from 51 yards out. Then Stephen Watkins, their punter, kicks a 37-yard field goal. I guess they trust him making field goals more than Grammatica. Then Jason Campbell finds Santana Moss from 1 yard out for another touchdown. Then Steven kicks another field goal, this time from 50 yards out. Then Julius Jones gets a 4-yard touchdown run with a successful 2-point conversion to go up, to tie things up actually at 21 apiece. Then Shujam kicks a 39-yard field goal and a 24-yard field goal to put the game in favor of the Hogs. As Washington went 3 for 4 on 4th down, while Dallas went 1 for 2. Teams getting aggressive here late in the season. Understandable. Teams trying to make the playoffs, all that. Now, that's probably going to be the quickest review of the game, because first quarter, Lawrence Giants kicks a 31-yard field goal. Then, second quarter, Eli Manning finds Amari Toomer for 4 yards out. Then Hansen kicks a 44-yard field goal just to give the Lions some points at home. And yeah, this game just... 0 for 4 on 4th down for Detroit. At some point, you gotta just trust your punter or something, Plus, a lot of turnovers for Detroit. 3 lost fumbles through 4 picks. Yeah, it was just an ugly game for Detroit. Speaking of ugly games, this game went ugly for San Francisco real quick. Although, start off with a Joe Nedney 30-yard field goal. Then we have Gus Farad throw a 31-yard touchdown pass to Troy Holt. Then Joe Nedney with another field goal. This time from 37 yards out. Troy Holt, my bad, not Troy Holt. But then Mark Bulger comes back in the game, and this is where it really started getting out of hand. Hall gets a touchdown pass, Holt gets a touchdown pass, but then Alex Smith finds Jackson from 8 yards out. They try to go for 2. They fail. San Francisco gained almost 100 more yards than St. Louis. But they were just outdone by how they played, Threw a pick, but, you just gotta convert your opportunities. The Bears and the Seahawks. Seahawks remain undefeated as well. It was mainly through the leg of Josh Brown. 39-yard field goal, then a 52-yard field goal, then a 21-yard field goal. Robbie Gould kicks a 29-yard field goal to break up the monotony a little bit. Then Brown kicks a 27-yard field goal in return. Robbie Gould kicks a 31-yard field goal. Then Peterson gets a 54-yard scoop and score. They failed a 2-point conversion to go up by 2 full touchdowns, but the damage was done. That defense stepped up majorly. Although Chicago did shut down the run game, they shut down Sean Alexander, which is probably what you should be doing if you're trying to win a game. But if you're trying to also win a game, you shouldn't fumble the ball twice and throw a pick either. That's the most even distribution of time of possession that I've seen in a Seattle game this year. They held Sean Alexander to 84 yards on 28 attempts. just good defense. And as you can see, me playing as the Titans and just drumming the Broncos. And thing is, Broncos made a weird move of just starting like a bunch of backup players. You know, like Chad Hutchinson played most of the game. Jason Elam was in there. Jesus Christ, 23 interceptions. I didn't know I picked off that many passes. Yeah, they had Paul Smith. Chad Hutchinson threw 3 passes backwards that were all called fumbles. Yeah, it's Steven Alexander, Alvin McKinley. You know, so, yeah. Interesting move by Denver, probably preserving their players actually for the rest of the season, which is a smart move. But that is it for Week 11, and I will see you all next time.